The San Francisco 49ers are going to kick ass and take names this season, and it all starts with head coach Kyle Shanahan.
What is up, faithful? It is Friday evening. The weekend's upon us, and we're on now episode number 2 of the Niners Now podcast. I am your host, Beto, with my co-host, Jess. Jess, how are you doing today?
What's going on? I am doing awesome. I love that intro. So fired up for the season. Let's go.
Let's go. Everyone in the chat already vibing in the chat. Make sure to smash that like button and hit that like button for your boy Niner Sickness. How's everybody doing? Let me welcome the crew in. We got Jess in the house. What's up, Jimmy? Excuse me. I got stuck with your name. Jimmy in the house. What's up, Jimmy Perez? Welcome to the stream. We got Damian Lee in the house. What's up, Damian? Yes.
What's up, Damian?
Hit that like and subscribe for sure. Give me a second. Let me put our names up there. Let's see here. We got Don in the house. How you doing, Don? We got Kimberly in the house. Kimberly, how you doing? Welcome to the second episode of this new channel. Right now, as you know, we're coming on my channel on the Niner Sickness podcast. We're trying to introduce our new channel to you guys and try to get people vibing and acknowledging the new Niners Now podcast. But eventually we will branch out to our own YouTube channel and try to build that. Once some people are getting a little bit of to know who we are and what we're doing. My goodness, so much has happened since last week. I just want to start off real quick with acknowledging and sending prayers and love. We lost a great player in the NFL today. Many of you might have heard already, but the great Jim Brown, and the running back from the Cleveland Browns, played with the Raiders, passed away today at the age of 87. Prayers for his family and his loved ones. We're definitely going to miss him. He was such a vital person to the NFL for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The Hall of Famer definitely will be missed.
Definitely. So you had something you wanted to bring up and discuss something. Go ahead and feel free to do so, Jess.
Yeah, I figured, we'd start off talking a little bit about, of course, Trey Lance. Start off with the quarterbacks. Jeff Christensen, quarterback coach, somebody who Trey has been working with, also works with Patrick Mahomes, has pretty much come out and said that Trey's looking awesome. That every day he's getting better and better. He shows up to work. He shows up on time. And, it's really good to see that. And I think that's a really good thing. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely improvement in Trey. Listen, let's keep it real. I know a lot of people either are in love with Trey or hate Trey. I don't understand the hate personally. He
I don't
hasn't
get it
had a
either.
true opportunity to showcase who he is and what he can do. Little sample size. And yes, I'm a big advocate for Brock Purdy. I love what I saw in Brock Purdy. I love the way he came in and handled his business in those 8 games and the way he executed and demanded, demand that offense and the leadership that he showed. But I'm never going to say that if you get the best of Trey and the best of Brock, that Brock's the better pick. It's always going to be Trey. Trey has a higher ceiling. Now, the problem is we haven't seen that ceiling. So when you hear this, when you hear people talk about Trey, Trey is working so hard this offseason to try to show that he is worthy of that number 3 pick. I mean, he was practicing in the offseason with Patrick Mahomes, and now he accepted the invite to George Kittle's and the
Tight end
what is it, tight
university.
end university, and Josh Allen was there last year. Josh Allen will be there this year, so he'll get to kind of bounce ideas off of Josh Allen. And Josh Allen kind of came in a similar fashion, a small school, Wyoming, went to the Buffaloes, to a big city there in New York, and struggled for the first year or two, and then finally was able to catch his feet underneath him, and now we know who he is today. Is Trey Lance going to be Josh Allen? I don't know. He could be, but the fact that he has an opportunity just to showcase what he can do this year, I hope he was able to take full advantage of it and run with it, because we need him. We need him to be the guy that we drafted a few years ago. I love Brock. I think Brock will do great. I'm not afraid to lean on Brock. If Trey doesn't work out, I can lean on Brock. I think the Niners can lean on Brock, and I think we'll be successful. But if you can get everything out of Trey, and Trey can be that quarterback, you can do so much more damage with him. So I don't know about you, Jess, but I'm excited. So anything that I hear, I get fired up. I know people don't want to beat the same old drum, but anything positive is something good for us to hear, especially when we've been hearing a lot of negative.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned Josh Allen, but no one really paid too much attention to his struggles. Like they pay attention to anyone struggling on the San Francisco 49ers for that matter. I had said last night on the Ladies of the Empire podcast, you know, it's whoever's under center, um, just get behind them. Whoever gives us the best chance to win. It's not about the name; it's about the logo on the side of the helmet. Um, and that's what it's. Enough of this Trey Lance versus Brock Purdy versus Trey Lance. There's 31 other teams that would love to have this problem that we have. And I literally can't say that enough. But yeah, so it's good to hear some positive news. I know some people would probably say, yeah, but there's no defenders going at him and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? This is a step in the right direction. He's working on his craft, and that's in my book, that's a real big positive.
Absolutely. And the reality is just that um, the kid has to be given the opportunity to do what he can do. The hate for him is so crazy. You made a point right now. And first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge that I watched it yesterday, and it was the first episode of the Ladies of the Empire. For those that missed it, please go check it out. It is on Tony Culp's channel. That is Brian Culp's wife. She's the one running that, and there were 4 lovely ladies there, with Jess included, and she and the rest of the girls did a wonderful job. You guys brought up some great topics. And I'll be honest, it is nice to see the ladies talking football. You get all these guys all the time talking football, and that's okay, but it's nice to hear the ladies' perspective of what their opinions are of what's going on in the NFL, particularly with the team they root for, which in this case is the San Francisco 49ers. And you guys did a wonderful job. Now, let me ask you, are you guys going to be doing this every week, or is it just open up right now for
I think
discussion?
right now it's every other week.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens, but we're really excited for it because there's not enough of women content creators out there, and we just really wanted to put something together. And I'll use a John Lynch word, bring it to fruition. And I'm so glad we did that because last night was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I seen it. I had to go to the Lakers. I had to go and watch the Lakers lose, by the way. So, but I went to watch the games. I kind of skedaddle from there, but I was watching it for a minute, and you guys are awesome. I love the topics. I love the conversation. You guys worked in unison with each other. And Dina Harvey, she's amazing. She's a longtime follower of the Niner Sickness podcast. And then Tony, yourself, and help me out. I'm trying Peachy
Hmm.
from the Wayne Breezy podcast. Wayne Breezy's been on my channel. Great guy. They're awesome, and I love that the women are getting together. So make sure to follow them every other week. For now, I'm rooting for every week, but check them out. You can go to Tony. I don't have the link on it, but it's real easy. It's spelled Toni. Don't spell it like a guy. Spell it like a girl. And Culp, CULTP. Excuse me.
Hmm.
And it'll take you directly to her channel, and go and support them and subscribe. And real quick, before we go any further, I really want you to punch in your own channel that you do on your own. I think it's a great channel. You see it right on her name, East Coast Red and Gold podcast. When do you guys go live, and what date and what time?
We go live every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. Come over and join us. We have a great time. We have really cool guests. There's four of us on the panel. We click really well. Shout out to Ty Alston, Maddie B, and you girl Bex. They're really like awesome people, and I'm so glad that we're together on it. So go over, like, subscribe, go Niners.
Booyah!
That's right. Booyah. Go check them out. They do a great job. Beck loves to instigate and start her little. I love it how she gets Maddie all fired up. And I love it, man. And then she does her, is it trivia or her, she loves to do like questions or.
Yeah, she'll do like random trivia. Yeah,
That's awesome,
for
man. So
sure.
make sure to check them out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. So keep that in mind. 4
Eight
o'clock.
o'clock p.m. Eastern.
Oh, 8 o'clock. And 5 o'clock.
It was just 7 o'clock on Wednesday because Randy Cross needed it to be
Oh,
seven
because you had.
o'clock.
Oh, that's right. You guys had Randy Cross. I seen a little bit. Man, the dude needs to cut his hair. But a great guy. I love Randy Cross.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
was super cool.
I didn't see the whole thing, but I watched a little bit. I gotta go back and watch it all, to be honest with you. But yeah, it looked like you guys had a lot of fun. Did he last during the whole show, or did he have to go early?
He was on for close to an hour.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that is
which was
cool.
pretty cool. And
That,
we kind of felt bad for like keeping him, but he was cool with it. So
I noticed with guests like that, the more interesting you guys make it for him, you can tell when they want to stay because the topic is hot or the vibe is going. The vibe is good, and they like the vibe, and they tend to want to stick around a little longer. And then there's other times where they're just bored out of their minds, and they're like trying
yeah.
to be as polite as they can, but they're looking at their watch. You know what I mean?
I mean, some people they will say like, "Oh, I could only give you a half hour. I can only give you this." So that's usually the case. But we've lucked out with a lot of guests. Just even Larry Kruger coming on and just shooting the shit
Larry.
with us. And yeah, Krug is great. Love him.
Yeah, pig in a pickle.
Yes.
Uh, uh, I'm not going to go any further because that's his thing. But That's what I always hear when it starts. Pig in a pickle. I like Larry. I know a lot of people don't like him, especially since he's been taking a stance on Brock Purdy. But the guy watches film. He has connections. He talks to people, and you know, you don't have to agree. This is the thing, man. You don't have to agree with content creators. You don't have to agree with everything they say, but take and choose what you like and what you don't like. Spit it out. I watch Larry, and he brings a lot of good insight. And there's certain things I'm like, Larry, I don't know. Especially when it comes to his Warriors, I kind of like I bail out. But I'll listen to him about certain things about the Niners, and if I agree, I agree, and if I don't, I don't. Same thing with Grant. I know a lot of people don't like Grant, but I pick and choose what I like. And one of my favorite guys, and people know it, is and I'm gonna mess up David Lombardi. He's one of
Hmm.
my favorite guys because he keeps it real. He speaks. I just like him. There's for me, and people don't, but you can still get nibbles from these content creators if you choose to be open minded about what they're saying. A lot of people automatically, oh, I can't stand David. Nope, I don't like him. And you don't ever, if you never give him a chance, you might miss out on certain things. But to each his own. But I think Larry Krueger is great. I love his passion. I love how he loves to talk about the Niners, and he's been talking a lot about Brock Purdy, Jess. And I think he's lost a lot of Niner fans since he stepped up for Brock. But let's be honest, and we'll move on from this. But he's not just talking out of his ass. If we can be frankly, he'll give you stats that supports what he says about Brock, and he's not a. And people are at him. And this is the thing that really irritates me. Just because you like a player doesn't mean you hate the other. And this is where the Niner faithful on
Right.
Twitter, particularly, always goes, oh, he's always talking highly about Brock. So he hates Trey. He has never said he hates Trey. Matter of fact, I've heard him say he wanted Trey to be drafted to the San Francisco 49ers. But like everybody else, Brock Purdy came in and impressed a lot of us. And if you're truly open minded and you saw what Brock did out of nowhere, yes, he blew a lot of people's minds out of the water based on what he's done. So now we have hope that if Trey doesn't work out, and I'm not saying he's not, but if he doesn't, we have someone we can lean on. Because prior to
Right.
Brock, if Trey didn't work out, who are we going to lean on? Nobody. You know what I mean? And we don't know nothing about Sam Darnold yet. And so Larry talks about Brock Purdy, but he doesn't hate Trey at all. People misunderstand him and take it the wrong way, or they'll run their own narrative, and it's not fair to Larry, man. So I check him
Yeah,
out. So
that's
you had him on
true.
your show then?
Yeah, yeah, and we just we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Just obviously the 49ers, but he if he talks about Brock Purdy, and I've never heard him say that he doesn't like Trey Lance.
Yep.
He talks I loved his draft coverage. When he was just saying like who he likes and who he thinks that the 49ers should select, and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Um, but he's Krug is great. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, and you need to respect it.
Yes, yes. And again, you don't have to agree. That's fine. You don't have to agree with anybody that anybody says. But I'm a big guy, I'm a big guy, so I like to use food as an analogy, and I'll use it all the time. It's like a buffet table, man. You don't have, buffet restaurant. You don't go in there and have to eat one thing. You can go in there and take and eat whatever you want. And that's how I see all these content creators that are out there. I like certain things they say, so I'll listen to that. And when it gets to the point where I'm like, I don't agree, then I move on. But there's no need for me to be negative or talk negative about them at all. I just want to welcome my boy Rich, my brother, my Christian brother, called Chronicles. He also has his own channel. Please go and support him. So
Yee.
go. I'm sorry. Oh,
Yee.
oh, you threw me off. I thought you were like being like negative, like I'm like, what?
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's where if you notice, I paused in my. I'm like, what? No, you could have told me that up, Okay, I can't even do it, so I don't even try. But yes, he's a great guy, man. He has his channel. Go and support his channel. Make sure to subscribe to him. He says, "Real talk, Beto. We are all different fans. I mean, drive on division disagreements doesn't always have an equal pick a side. The last time I checked, we are on the same ship. Let's go." That's you would think that that's the consensus, right? We're all heading in the same direction, but the hate is real, man. I don't know if what it is, but when I see Niners going after Niner fans, it's like, man, we don't even have to worry about Dallas fans anymore. We don't have to worry about Seattle. We're killing amongst, it's just, or killing's a little too strong there. My apologies, but we're going after each other, and I just don't understand it. It's just agree to disagree, you know.
We have a Super Bowl roster, and everybody should be hyped for this upcoming season. There it is.
Yep, there it
Yee!
is.
We have a Super Bowl roster. Everybody should be hyped.
Yeah,
We're probably going to be right. Obviously, not probably. We are going to be right in the mix. I think it's going to be come down to us and the Eagles again. Um, Definitely a better outcome, I think. And just everybody should just get along. I don't know
just
why that's so
chillax,
hard.
man. Chillax
Seriously.
and
Thug Life Certified.
don't be, that Thug Life certified, which Twitter has a lot of them. They have a lot of.
Thug Life Certified.
Just chillax,
Yes.
relax, man. Let's get to our second point. Just let's talk about OTAs. The dates are up there: May 22nd, 23rd, May 25th, May 30, 31st, June 2nd, June 5 through 6th, June 8th, and mandatory minicamp June 13 to 15. I'm excited to see these young rookies out there. I'm excited to see Trey Lance throw the ball out there. Football, I'm starting to smell the season coming. It's I don't know about you, but it's a long time from the Super Bowl to the beginning of training camp. Are you excited for OTAs? I know training camp is more where we see more things happen, but I don't know about you. But I love football all the way around 24/7. Are you excited for OTAs?
I am excited for OTAs because we get to see, just little bits of what's up, David? Little bits of the team, right? I mean, we get to see a little bit of Trey Lance. We get to see my favorite George Kittle. Um, it's we get to see like all these guys, and yeah, they're not going to have pads on, and and stuff like that, but it's they're out there, and football season will be here before you know it.
Exactly. Don, tell the girls, Jayla and Ariel, that I said hello. Have a wonderful dinner. Enjoy and be blessed. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you.
Have a good night, Don.
And don't forget to
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.
now. What's up, Joe E is in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here tonight. Yeah, man, I'm excited about OTAs. I'm excited to see Brown in action. I'm excited to see. I'm very curious with these tight ends that we picked up, Jess. I'm very excited to see what Cameron Latu from Alabama brings to the Niners. And then I heard David Lombardi earlier today talk about Willis, Jordan Willis.
Braden Willis.
Yeah, Braden. I keep saying Jordan. From Oklahoma. They consider him a yak guy. He's one of the yak guys. And his tight end coach in Oklahoma was one of our tight ends in 2006 and 2008 when Vernon Davis was here. He was never a starter, of course. He was always on the practice squad. But according to David Lombardi, he said that they like to use a lot of tape of the 49ers to he likes to use a lot of tape of the Niners to teach his tight ends. So Willis is really well versed in what we do here with Juice and Kittle. So this kid can separate. This kid can break off tackles. So if we can get another guy, another yak guy, now you're talking about Kittle. You're talking about Debo. You're talking about Christian McCaffrey. And then now you bring in this kid Willis. I'm
Don't
telling
forget
you,
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk, yeah. How can I forget him? Please forgive me, Brandon. You have these guys that are capable to break loose at any moment. Whoever the quarterback is, whether it's Trey, Brock, or Sam, all they got to make sure to do is to get the ball into the hands of the playmakers and let the playmakers do what they do best and get those yaks after the catch. I'm excited, girl.
I think anybody who is behind George Kittle, I mean, these two already are light years ahead of Ross Dwelly and Charlie Warner, in my opinion. But yeah, I think anybody who's behind George Kittle will learn a lot. And these guys already, like you said about Braden Willis, Cameron Latu, I'm very excited to see them. Definitely excited to see Jair Brown. Um, Also excited to see D Winners as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to see all of them.
Let's go.
I think as far as like year two production, I'm excited to see Drake Jackson.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he's going to make a big jump. I hope he makes a big jump. I think they're counting on him to do that. But yeah, I'm excited for all of it.
Yeah. He's going to be a vital piece. They're just, we need to get him. He's got a lot of weight, according to Steve Wilkes. He's getting a lot of weight. He's looking good, but he needs to be productive. He needs to handle his business. Rich as well has had the most broken tackles of all tight ends in college. Let's go. That's it.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive. And that's what we need, man. We need guys like that. Luis Moreno says, do we have room for all these tight ends? We do, because I don't know. I think they're going to be competing with help me out, just the two guys from last year that
Ross
didn't
Dwelly
really
and
impress.
Charlie Warner.
Yeah, Ross Dwelly and Charlie Warner. They went with 3 tight ends last year. So if these guys can outperform those 2 other guys, I don't see why it wouldn't be Kittle, Latu, and Willis in 2023. So they definitely have room for them because they always go with 3 tight ends. So they'll be fine. They just got to, earn their spot. So I'm looking forward to it. I just want to say hello and welcome to 49ers fan 26. What's up, brother? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm fired up, Jess. I'm looking forward to seeing Drake Jackson year 2 step up. We already know what we have in Nick Bosa. We know what we're getting in Hargrave. We know that history has shown that Eric Armstead, if he's not being double teamed, which he won't now that we have Hargrave next to Bosa, when he's one-on-ones, he beats his one-on-ones. He's effective. If not going to watch 2019, the only spot that is a question mark is opposite of Bosa on the other side. Is it going to be Jackson? Is it going to be Clinton Farrell? Would it be Robert Bale? Would he come in and impress? There's so many question marks there, but I expect year 2 Jackson to really take form. And we'll get to know a little bit within about 2 weeks into camp. All I know is this. If we sign a free agent, I know people want to sign free agents, but if we sign a free agent before the season, that doesn't say wow for Jackson. They're not going to. If Jackson is thriving in OTAs, he's thriving in minicamp, there's no way they're bringing in Floyd, William Floyd, that was, or I don't know if that's his first name, but I know it's Floyd. Leonard Floyd, thank you, from the Rams. He still has a little bit of pass rush in him. What are your thoughts on that, Jess? If they bring in Floyd, do you think that's more indication that these guys are not stepping up to par, or just bringing in depth if they do decide to get someone like him in here?
I don't. Well, one, I don't think that they're going to bring anybody in, but if they do, I don't think that kind of says, okay, Drake Jackson's done. I know Drake Jackson. They said that he put on a lot of weight, and like I said earlier, they're definitely counting on him. What's up, Bebop? They're definitely counting on Drake Jackson. And don't forget about Javon Kinlaw. He's got a big year to do something, probably as a rotational piece. And Eric Armstead actually has to remain healthy in order for him to do what we know he can do.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned Kinlaw. I'm glad you brought him up. I know I know he's not a fan favorite to a lot of us.
What else is new?
Yeah, based that he was taken so high, and he hasn't really worked out because of his knee issues and not being on the field. Listen, whether you like him or not, you can't discredit him for his ability to play. He's a good player, just not able to stay on the field. And I understand if you're not on the field, you can't produce, no matter how good you are. But you said something that really hit me by saying he's going to be a guy that they're going to bring in, take out, bring in. He's not going to be dependent on to play every down. He's not going to be forced to play every down. He's not going to be dependent on to stop the run. He is going to be as a rotational player. You have Hargrave doing the damage, and then whenever he needs a breather, you bring in fresh legs. So hopefully, maybe, with now that he doesn't have to be the main guy and becomes as a rotational player, maybe he stays healthy. Maybe he's able to produce. And Javon Kinlaw is a big guy.
He is.
If he comes with fresh legs and he's not hurting or tired, I can see him doing some damage. He's really great against the run. Very good. So even if they bring him on running downs, put him in the running downs, we can see what he can do. So I think that, or I should say, I hope he's able to take advantage of his rotational situation and takes advantage. If it's not to be here going forward, at least for another team to look at his resume and not look at the last couple of years, but look at 2023, say, hey, you know what? We can work with him and maybe give him a contract. Because I do feel for the guy. I do feel for these guys. They come out of college. They want a contract. They want to support their family. They want to take their families out of the area they were in, the environment. They want to move out, and they depend on the finances of the NFL. And when your body fights against you, it's not even your skill sets. You're gifted, but when your body's fighting against you, I feel bad. I really felt bad. I remember Frank Gore when he came into the league. His mom needed some type of surgery, and he couldn't afford it, and he needed to get paid, and he was hoping his mom will hang in there. He was drafted in the third round, and right before he got his big bag, his mom unfortunately passed away, and I always remember that, man. Now he's secure. He has financial. His kids are doing great, but he never got to take care of his mom, and I feel for that. So, even if I don't like the player, even like what's his name that's not with us no more, Solomon Thomas. He wasn't good for us, but hey, he deals with a lot of awareness. He's doing awareness for what is it? What's the word? What do they call it? What his sister had? She committed suicide. Remember? For depression and stuff like that. It's a word. I can't think of the word. Sorry, but he's a big advocate for that. Mental illness, I think is what it's called. And you got to wish these kids positive things. But I really hope, Jess, that Mr. I Can't Stay on the Field comes out and does well for us. Let me ask you, which rookie, besides the obvious of the kicker, but if you want to bring him up, that's fine. You really want to dive into and see him. Not that you don't want to see nobody successful, but you really want to see this rookie thrive in this team.
I am actually going to say Jair Brown, the safety. Um, I really want to see him just get out, like him and Talanoa Hufanga on the field at the same time. Wow. Like I can't wait to see that. I like Tashawn Gibson. I think he's good back there, but obviously he's, we have him for a year. He may retire after this season. Um, but yeah, I would love to see Jair Brown just go out there and just, kick ass.
And take
Kick
kick
ass and
ass.
take names.
There you go. Kick ass and take names. I would love to see this. A lot of people saying that he reminds a lot of Huff, the way Huff plays. I know Huff had issues in coverage his first year. He kind of got better at it. One of the knocks on Brown is also his ability to cover silence to silence. That's something he's going to have to work on. But the guy's like a sinking missile, man. The guy hits. The guy also is a turnover machine. I believe he had 10 interceptions in his career in college. You might say, well, that's not a lot. That's a lot for a safety coming out of college. And then we brought in some players that go after the ball. And I believe we led the league last year in takeaways, and we bring in more. We bring kids that are able to contribute more to that. This defense is going to be excited. I cannot wait. On that note,
And don't forget about Darrell Luter too. That's definitely somebody who I'm excited about as well.
yeah, I wanted to ask you about Samuel Womack replicating what Dino did. Dilo struggled a little bit, played well, and then finished strong. Do you think second year we get to see Samuel Womack in the same kind of trajectory where this is the year he can showcase? Because if I know a lot of people want to put him in the inside corner, but he's really an outside. He's small, but he's an outside guy. Do you think he can step up this year and be that backup to Ward and Dino, or do you think he's going to struggle like he did last year?
I feel like we should be playing Return of the Mac in the background.
Oh wow, there you go.
But I
That's
hope
good.
I hope he balls out. I really do. I never root for, failure from anybody. I mean, if you're on the San Francisco 49ers,
Come on now.
you're great in my book, and I just want to see you be successful and help this team win, help us get our sixth Lombardi. So hopefully, he takes that jump. I'd like to see it. Ambry Thomas, on the other hand, I don't know if he will. But you know what? The sky's the limit for these guys.
And I like the fact that we brought in Steve Wilkes, where not only is he a seasoned vet but he's also expertise is in the secondary, and he'll be able. This is a matter of fact. He said that he's going to be coaching from the booth, and I know a lot of people are like, but wait a minute, Robert Saleh, he was a rah guy on the sidelines, and then D'Amico Ryans. But people don't realize that when you are a guy that really focuses on the secondary, if you notice a lot of secondary coaches, they are always in the booth. Why? Because they can get a complete look at the field. And we have Halls, which is, I believe, a linebacker coach. If I said his name correct, and if I did, I apologize. He's a rah guy. And then we have the rah-rahs of the rah-rahs in our D-line coach, Chris Kasarik. That guy's always out there barking.
Yes.
So do we really need Steve Wilkes? And Steve Wilkes doesn't look like he will be the rah guy. I think he's the guy that is more intellect. He's not the D'Amico's not smart, but he's more focused, and he's kind of quiet. He's that quiet assassin that just looks at the field, makes that adjustment. He's not too loud with his voice, but he's definitely loud with the play calling that he makes, and that's what I want to see. As long as we get the same result, does it matter to you, Jess, if he's out on the sideline or in the booth?
It doesn't. I actually think it's a bigger advantage if he's up in the booth because, like you alluded to, he sees everything. And plus, there's 68,000 fans in the stadium that can be, the rah-rahs, if you will,
Yes.
for everybody. So I think it's a huge advantage for him to be up there. Now, my question to you is, do you think that we will be more aggressive with Steve Wilkes at the helm?
Absolutely. He already said it. He's gonna dial up more blitzes than you normally. I mean, Robert Saleh was not really a blitz guy. And then D'Amico kind of came in, and you saw a little bit more blitzes there. Expect to see way more blitzes with Steve Wilkes being the coordinator, and he has the personnel. This guy Oliver, Isaiah Oliver from Atlanta. This guy, he struggled playing on the outside, Jess, but Atlanta decided to move him in the inside, and he thrived in the inside, and that's what we need him is an inside. And Steve Wilkes said, I don't know if you heard this, but he said it himself that he believes that Isaiah Oliver might be the best inside corner in free agency this year. And that roots well for us underneath. So, and he's great in the blitz. They can use him. They can use Brown in the blitz. They can use the linebacker you mentioned from TCU. Help me out with the names.
D Winners.
D Winners. Also, he has the personnel, the young gun, to do these blitzes. And he's going to dial these blitzes at certain times because I really believe that even if Drake Jackson doesn't step up, I think he will. But I think with Eric Armstead, Hargrave in the middle now pushing the pocket, and Bosa, I think this front four is going to be strong and dominant. And remember that game against the Packers, was it 2 years ago in 2019, where they weren't blitzing and they were just putting pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and then was it D'Amico? No, it wasn't. It was Robert Saleh at the time that decided to blitz, and it caught Aaron Rodgers off guard, and he fumbled the ball. And remember, Bosa covered it, didn't quite make it in, and then Raheem Mostert, or not Raheem, Coleman ran it in for a touchdown. This is what I expect to see from Steve Wilkes, those unanticipated blitzes where the quarterbacks are not going to see it. It's going to be so much pressure from the front four that they're going to be focusing so much on the front guys that he's going to come out on the side with one of these blitzers and it's going to catch these quarterbacks off guard, and they're going to make a mistake. And who do we have? We have Huff. We have Gibson, who led the league in takeaways last year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun this year. I can't wait. So, yes, I think he's going to be more aggressive, to answer your question for sure.
I feel like, with Robert Saleh and then D'Amico Ryans and now Steve Wilkes, I feel like the aggressiveness is just like, it's like a buildup. And with that front four, if that front four gets going, that helps out the secondary tremendously. And everything will just kind of, mesh together, and, we'll be ready to roll.
Absolutely. The silent but deadly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I agree. Yep.
And Austin Bryant, Bebop brought him up. I like this kid. I'm a Clemson Tiger fan, so I like him. I think Clemson Farrell was misused. They're all misused with the Raiders. I'm really surprised that the kid they have right now is so good with the Raiders. He's just a special pass rusher, but he was used more like a linebacker with the Raiders. Here, they're just going to put his hand on the dirt and just have him pin his ears back and go right after the quarterback, Farrell. And I think Farrell's really, really going to take advantage of his opportunities here. This pass rush, Jess, is going to be ferocious. And you're right. The more pass rush, the more you're able to help out the secondary. But one of the things that I like about Wilkes is we played a lot of zone last year. And I like zone to an extent. When you do a lot of zone, you leave a lot of these pockets open for an easy 5 yard, 10 yard, 11 yard catch. Wilkes is want to try to. He says we have the personnel, and he wants to play a lot of man. When you play man, guess what? The quarterback has to hold on to the ball longer, and if the quarterback holds on to the ball longer than he wants to, well, hello, you're gonna have Hargrave, you're gonna have Bosa, Eric Armstead, and Jackson chopping at the bit going after the quarterback. So when you play man, it's going to benefit the front four, and the front four don't even need that. And imagine playing good man. So I cannot wait to see Wilkes and bringing in his expertise, man. I think this year is going to be a fun year to watch, and particularly with the secondary.
Yeah, I think so too. You know what? If they could not miss a beat with D'Amico Ryans going to the Texans, and they just continue going and even actually get even better, if that's even possible, would definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and one of the things, listen, I want to take nothing away from D'Amico Ryans. He did a phenomenal job, so well that he got a promotion to head coach. Robert Saleh, same thing. But they were first-time defensive coordinator. They did amazing, but they were first-time defensive coordinator. There were certain things, there were certain plays that I'm like, what are you doing, D'Amico? What are you doing, Robert Saleh? The transition of bringing in players or changing the coverage was kind of like slow and hesitant for me at times. When you bring in a guy with this, a seasoned guy like Wilkes, he's seen a lot of offenses. He's familiar with a lot of these quarterbacks. He is familiar with a lot of these offensive coordinators. I don't think anybody's going to pull the wool out of over his eyes, personally. He's seen it all. He has that expertise. And I think that's going to be vital for this defense. Not to take away from D'Amico or Robert, but this guy has experience. And I think this guy's going to thrive, especially with the personnel. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the team that he's had in a long time, that he has such great players. So I know he's chomping at the bit to see what he can do. Because remember, he wants to be a head coach. And this is his opportunity. The better he does with our defense, the better chances for him to move on to become a head coach. So I think it's a perfect marriage. Now they got to go and make it work. And I think they will.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the one thing that's always concerned me is we've never really done well against mobile quarterbacks. So I'm hoping that, something is done in that regard. Um, Excuse me, because we do play Lamar Jackson this year. Um, and I just, I'm really hoping that we clean that up for sure.
Absolutely. Welcome, Christian Carver, to the chat. Good seeing you, buddy. Cole says Farrell key. Yes, he is. I think this kid was misused in I was going to say Oakland, but in Las Vegas last year, and I think he's going to thrive under. If you liked Arden Key, which equals to Key, and that's what he was brought in to do, is what Arden Kid did when he was here. That's all we need. We just need that occasional pass rusher, to fresh legs to go and just pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. Wilkes wanted a man up and blitzed. Yep. Dogs are going to eat, bro. They want,
Yep.
He loves blitzing, and he loves to play man. And he can do it. So I'm looking forward to see what he does this year. Moving on a little bit to Riddick and what he said about Darnold. And we're not going to stay on this topic too much, but if you remember Riddick, which is an ESPN analyst, he worked with none other than Brian Greasy on ESPN or some network. They know each other. They have each other's phone numbers. Do you think he got this information from Hush Hush Brian Greasy?
No.
No?
No,
Tell me why you
I
don't think
really,
it.
I really don't think so. If you don't know, the 49ers are tight-lipped. They keep their cards close to their vest. Um, even when Ian Rappaport was saying about, Sam Darnold, and, it was alleged that the Niners had called Ian Rappaport to say, hey, cut that out or whatever. Wasn't really reported. It wasn't really official that they did that, but nothing is ever leaked coming out of the 49ers now. Nothing is, so I highly doubt. I mean, people have said the same thing because Chris Sims is friendly with Kyle Shanahan. So people have said the same thing. Oh, I wonder if Kyle Shanahan is saying stuff to Chris Sims, because Chris Sims is saying all this stuff. No, I doubt it.
Do you know that Chris Sims and Kyle Shanahan have matching tattoos?
I did not know that.
Yes, they do. They got
Wow.
matching tattoos. They played in college together.
Yes.
They're buddies, they're good friends. But this is how I know Shanahan. He tells him, "You're my boy, but this is my job. This is provides for my family." When we drafted Trey, he Sims was persistent that it was going to be Mac Jones. Remember? Mac Jones, Mac Jones. So much Mac Jones that people, 49er faithful, starting to wonder, oh my God, he's really close to Kyle.
Right.
Do you think Kyle told him that it was going to be Mac Jones? That's why he's talking about Mac Jones. Fast forward, who did we draft? Trey Lance.
Trey
Whether he
Lance.
works out or not, that's not the point that I'm trying to make here. He went after Trey, right? Because he even said in an interview after playing Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he wanted someone that he can extend the plays with their legs, and that's not Jones. So when people were like, "We're gonna get Jones," oh my! I'm like, where are you getting this? Oh, Sims doesn't know it. Kyle, that's his boy. They could probably chop it up in the offseason, but I guarantee, and Sims even admitted it during the season. Kyle does not return his calls. He doesn't,
Right.
because Kyle's a coach, and you're part of the media. That's just the reality of it, and he can't trust them because he's part of the media. You know what I mean? So, or he can't trust himself to let something slip in a conversation, and then Sims use it for his benefit. So it's best to stay away. So you can't always buy into what the media is saying. You just can't, man. Just this whole quarterbacks, let it play out. Let it play out.
Just support whoever is under center. Support whoever gives us the best chance to win.
Exactly. Exactly. Let it. Javier Rios is a huge Jimmy Garoppolo fan.
You think?
Welcome. Yeah, yeah. Based on the comments, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I support the name in the front of the jersey, not the name in the back. Now, I love the names in the back. I have my favorite players that I sport jerseys, whether they're present or past. But
It's
I
all
will
about
always
that
support.
logo.
Exactly. I was talking this on my show last night that I went solo on my show last night. I talked about the era of social media. Right now, we're in deep in social media. Everything is talked about on Twitter. As soon as, like, for example, the death of Jim Brown, as soon as it hit the media, it spread like wildfire. You didn't have that in the 80s, okay? In the 90s. So when Joe Montana, when George Seifert did the unquestionable decision to trade the MVP, four-time Super Bowl, Joe Montana, to the Chiefs for an unproven Steve Young, people shit the bed. But the only difference is there was no social media. It wasn't publicized as fast. It didn't. People were not chirping away, going and fighting. No, Team Montana, Team Steve on social media. But I have to believe if that happened today with the media that we have today, it would have been worse than what we're getting with Trey and Brock back and forth. So Joe Montana moves on. We win another Super Bowl with Steve, and everything's history, right? You still love both players, but Jess, I want to just share this with you. Back then, I don't know if you were following the team closely as you do now, or but back then we lost a lot of Niner faithful, and I hate to use faithful because they weren't faithful to the Kansas City Chiefs because they followed Joe Montana instead of staying behind. I love Joe Montana. He is the GOAT. But I am not leaving the San Francisco 49ers for him or for anybody. I mean, I did not like the move, but I had to sit there and accept it because it was made. And we got a Super Bowl with Steve Young. We haven't got one in 28 years since, but we got one. The fact is, a lot of people left. And I'm pretty sure after Steve Young won, they probably came back to the Niners. And now that Patrick Mahomes is there, they probably went back. I don't understand that, Jess. I don't understand how you can follow a player. So let me ask you, if I would have known you back then, obviously you didn't do it, but would you have followed Joe Montana to Kansas City, or would you just wish him well, but you still root for your red and gold? I know the answer, but I just want you to share it.
For the gold.
Oh, you're freezing.
Definitely. Am I?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit. Let's see. You're a little bit better now. So let me get to some of these questions, and then we can get out of here. It's been fun. Oh, I had this already up there, and I brought it back. So if I'm greasy, I'm believing in talking up all my guys, instilling confidence in a massive part of the. You know what? That makes a good point too. Why not? Bring the guys' confidence up. Very good point. What's up, Steve-O in the house? Says we didn't know about
Steve-O.
Trey's finger. That's right. That's another thing that Kyle shared that we were not with about his finger, and it was on his throwing hand. And you know, it's hard to be accurate when it's hard for you to grip the football, and that could obviously mess up your accuracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now that his finger is healed and he's doing okay, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I got a feeling that maybe just me being excited, but I think Trey's going to make a lot of believers or win a lot of people back. But it's a shame, though, that he has to do that in order to people to support him. I never hidden the fact that I like Brock Purdy. I never hidden that. I love Brock Purdy. But I want to see Trey succeed. I just love the fact that we have someone that we can rely on if Trey doesn't work out. But I want Trey first and Brock second. I've never said otherwise. But, and I'm sorry, Javier. I am glad that Jimmy is with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Me too.
Javier's going to be a Raider fan. A part-time Raider fan, right, Javier? Beto, you know you be asking and praying for the return of no.
Nope.
I think there's a better chance you becoming a Raider fan than Jimmy becoming a Niner quarterback again. What do you think the odds are? You think the odds are in favor of Javier becoming a Raiders fan more than Jimmy becoming our quarterback again?
Yeah, definitely.
You don't want to add. You're like, I don't know who he is, so you're cute. You were going to like.
I'll leave that out.
Yeah, you were gonna like, okay, yeah. It says, oh well, get a ring soon. Praying it's this year since the Bull is gonna be on home field. I don't know where they're playing this year, but I know in 2026 the Niners will be hosting the Super Bowl. It'll be the 2025 season, and they'll be hosting in 2026. What are your thoughts on that, real quick, on the Niners being awarded the Super Bowl in 2020, exactly 10 years from their first Super Bowl?
I think that's really cool. I know Jed York was hoping you know, Levi Stadium would host it, and I think it's really cool, and I hope we're playing in it.
Bebop is trying to make money. He's not saying the name, but he's addressing this to Javier. I got a cheap Jimmy G's jersey for sale. There you go, Javier. You can buy your 15 jersey of Jimmy G. Add it to your not connection, but collection. Oh my God. Is there anything else you wanted to add to our show tonight that I might have left out or talked too much and didn't give you a chance to say something?
I think that's it.
So I got to figure out, how was your internet on your side? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Huh. What do you know what your up speed is by any chance?
I have no idea.
Have you ever heard of it's called Speed Test? You can download it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I use. It kind of, because I tell people this all the time. Don't worry about the download. Always worry about the upload. That's what you use to go into the internet. Some people are like, I got a great download. I'm like, no, look at the upload. Now you're fine, but you broke up. So I don't know if it's on my side. Maybe it's I'm pulling too many streams, going to too many places. But you're good now. Before we call it a night, once again, for those that came in late and are watching now, how can they find you? And what is the name of your channel? When do you guys go live once again over there at the East Coast Red and Gold podcast?
Well, you could find me on Twitter at JM41484. You could also find East Coast Red and Gold on Twitter, ECRG_IESR. Also on YouTube, just type in East Coast Red and Gold podcast and we'll pop right up. Go over there, like, subscribe. We're on every Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. We have a lot of cool guests. We just had Randy Cross on Wednesday. Really cool interview. So head over there and hit that subscribe button and enjoy.
Awesome. And then also let them know about what you got going on with the ladies.
Yes. Also, it's another podcast called Ladies of the Empire. We were just on last night. We go on at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 p.m. Pacific. We're on right now. We're going to be on every other Thursday. So in 2 weeks we'll be on, and it's myself, Tony Culp, Dina, Miss Peachy. I know Gina will be on, and I believe your girl Bex will be on in 2 weeks as well, which she's on my show, the East Coast Red and Gold. So yeah, it's, got a lot going on, but it's a lot of fun.
I love it. I can't wait to see Beck on there with you guys doing her thing. All right. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to our second episode. Again, we're going to be coming on here until everybody gets kind of familiar with us. And eventually, hopefully, we'll branch out to our own YouTube channel. This way, if for whatever reason I can't go on, Jess can go on. Or if Jess is not available, I can go on and we'll both have access to that YouTube channel. So make sure to let people know, Niners Now podcast. Now, right now it's done on my, I will be creating a YouTube channel, even though we won't be going live on there, just so that people can subscribe to it. But so keep that in mind. Look out for the Niners Now podcast on YouTube. And if you see it available, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, so when we do start going live on there, you can definitely watch us there. Jess, once again, thank you for coming on with me. I'm treating you as a guest, and I got to remind myself that you're not a guest. You're not part of me. At least on Fridays. I get to have you on Fridays, and I won't share. But so I have to get out of that. I'm so used to when I have a guest, I'm always... I'll see you next time, hopefully, So until next Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, here on the Niners Sickness Podcast. And keep an eye out for the Niners Now podcast on YouTube. Once the channel goes through, please subscribe and follow it. Until then,
And thanks to everybody in the chat. You
Yes,
guys were awesome.
thank you and have a wonderful, blessed weekend. And don't drink too much. Peace.